All right, we're back. Dynasty Trades in 5. I'm Clay.
I'm Shane. I'm ready to die on this hill.
I'm Scott. Do not flag me for taunting.
So, guys, breaking news. Tyreek Hill is now a Miami Dolphin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really, we're going to have to start this video over. I had no clue.
So yeah, we reached out to the subscribers and asked them, hey, we need a player to do for tonight. Tyreek was a popular name. Wanted to hear us talk about Tyreek, so we're gonna break him down tonight. First, let's start off with a trade, just to get a little baseline here. Are you taking Tyreek or Rashad Bateman and the 109?
Start 10.
Start 10, 12 team, super flex.
Man, I'm not going to go down the road that I always go down. I'll take Tyreek in that, just because I think Bateman's barely worth the first.
I was going to say that's not even close. Bateman's not worth a first, even in this class. And I loved Bateman coming out. Tyreek Hill could still be elite, even though someone might disagree with me on this show. That feels like trading a dollar for several nickels and not adding up to $1.
So straight up, T. Higgins or Tyreek Hill?
Higgins.
Higgins, plus that's like a 5-year age discount, 4 years.
How about Deontay and Tyreek? Would you need a little bit with Deontay to give away Tyreek?
I'm trading Tyreek and getting Deontay.
I know Shane smashes Deontay on that.
Yeah, I'm taking Deontay. I mean, but you know what? I'd probably want a little bit back more since Deontay is frowned upon in fantasy circles because all he does is do wide receiver 1 numbers.
I take Deontay because I think they have similar quarterbacks. So just give me the younger guy.
All right, so let's get rolling. Scott, you start Tyreek in Miami. What's it gonna look like?
Well, I've been critical of Tyreek, talking about the impact of this trade, and it's not because he's gotten any worse or he's too old or he's lost a step or anything like that. It's just simple math when you're looking at Tua. I'll bring some Tua stats into this a little bit later. We've talked about Tua in the past, so I don't think that there's a big mystery on, what Tua is, what Tua could be. I mean, I've heard every excuse in the world for Tua the last year. Didn't have a line, only had one weapon. It was the offense. They didn't let him throw downfield, injuries. But I mean, if we are judging all these other players on small sample sizes, like, hey, we give them a year, they don't do what we want, we got to cast them aside. I'm not saying that's necessarily the case, but, when we get to Tua, I'll talk about why, we have a big sample size to where we're not going to be able to bet that he's just going to become this efficient monster quarterback that's going to elevate his receivers. So back to Tyreek. I mean, Tyreek in the latest ADP was wide receiver 4, which is A, ridiculous. B, it was before the trade. But then you do the math and you're like, well, okay, JAYLEN WADDLE was wide receiver 7. So can this offense produce 2 wide receiver 1s? And I've even been very vocal that has a better shot at producing 0 wide receiver 1s as it does 2. I'm just tending to think it's going to look more like San Francisco volume, which is going to be 31 attempts a game, 550 at most. If you just give him like his best market share for his career, you're down in the range of 130, 135 Tua targets at best.
I don't know if you've heard, Scott, but that coach over there, Mike McDaniel, went to Yale. Super smart guy. Super smart people tend to lean into the strengths of their team. I would say that the strength of their team is Tyreek Hill and Jaylen Waddle, right? It's not going to be the running backs, which are Raheem Mostert, James Conner's backup. Yeah, that guy. And Myles Gaskins.
Gaskin, respect the no S.
No, I'm going to give him multiple S's because there could be 7 Myles Gaskins on the field. Not one of them will make a difference. Like, this is going to be a passing offense. Tyreek Hill and Mike Gesicki, right? So that's literally 3 passing options. Like, nobody else on that team should see more than a 5% target share.
See, and that's the concern is they signed Alec Ingold, who's going to play 85, 90% of the snaps. He's going to somehow get 50 targets. Yeah, Lynn Bowden's going to get some targets. Cedric Wilson's going to get some. No, I'm saying.
I don't see Cedric Wilson getting any targets because they signed Cedric Wilson before Tyreek Hill was an option.
My point is, if you're only going to throw it 550 times, it needs to be Tyreek, Gesicki, Waddle for 425 to 450 targets for these guys to get there. And I don't trust this type of offense to only play 3 guys. If you look at San Francisco, they're throwing the ball to like 7 or 8 different guys.
Yeah.
And every guy that gets 25, 30 targets, you're going, oh, that's no big deal. But when you have 6 other players that are getting 30 targets because they re-sign Durham Smythe, they re-sign Adam Shaheen, like you have a ton of guys. If you tell, and I'm not saying these guys are relevant. I don't even want them out there. I don't want any other 2%, 5%. That's what worries me. If you said the pie is going to be 600 attempts and it's going to be 25% for Tyreek and Waddle, then yeah, they can be wide receiver ones. I don't trust that. I look at a team that's going to go, they're going to play annoyingly 10 guys. And it's like 40 targets here, 25 targets here, 40 to the fullback, 42 to the running back. Like that's what's going to eat away from that extreme volume. Could he be on the very fringe of wide receiver one? Possibly. I don't think him and Jaylen Waddle can both do it. You almost have to pick your lane. If you're going to go all Tyreek and say, I think Tyreek is going to be the man and he's going to get 145, 150 targets, he's going to get 25% market share, and somehow Miami's going to throw it 650 times according to Shane's math, then okay, Tyreek can be a top 10 receiver. I just don't think the math checks out. Maybe I'm going to be wrong. I'll put Tyreek at wide receiver 15. I'll put Waddle right around the same.
So Tyreek or the 103?
I think that's square. I think we talked earlier in the year about, you'd pay the 102 or the 103 for the way it's looking right now. I'm going to see a lot of drafts where I think Breece Hall is going to go 101 because people just don't want to take any risk. So if I'm sitting in a draft and I'm like, man, I don't need to try to build on a quarterback, like I could justify paying one of those 102, 103 for a wide receiver. So I can't argue with it. I personally would rather have the pick, but I get it.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be one look. If I'm shooting for the title next year, my roster construction allows for it. I'll give up the pick. I'd be loath to just get the 103. I'd have to at least get a second to make me feel better, even if it's late. So I can go, all right, well, at least I can package this with something. And this trade wasn't specifically just this player, straight up Treylon Burks for Tyreek Hill.
Okay. Which side would you rather have? Would you rather have Juju and the 105 or Tyreek?
Ooh. I'll take Juju in the 105 because I think the wide receiver one plus Juju is pretty comparable.
Yeah, I'm in love with Treylon Burks, and if he falls there, am I on the clock and he's still available? Like,
nope, just win at 104. You have to pick Drake London to the Jets.
He did go 104.
Drake London to the Jets, very different. Very different. I'll take the 105 in Juju. I think one of the top 2 wide receivers, regardless of landing spot. Obviously, we play the long game here, so I'll take that.
Tyreek or let's say Marquise Hollywood Brown and Elijah Mitchell.
I'll take Tyreek because I don't think I'm getting very liquid pieces on the other side. Neither one of those guys I think I can go back out and flip for something more liquid.
The problem is Elijah Mitchell has absolutely no buy-in in the community. Like the community's waiting to just say, no, this guy's not worth a second rounder.
Yeah, we had a bunch of requests for Elijah Mitchell to do a refresh on him, so we will do that. Made it this far, thank you. We'll see you soon, but check out our channel, browse the playlist, do some binging, hit that subscribe if we earned your business, and also check out our last show on a roster review we did for our subscribers. So we will see you soon.